We watched YouTube to find some videos on our particular car that we were looking for, and we couldn't find any. So we thought once we purchased it, we'll make one, and then being able to show people what they can expect from this car. On the passenger side of the car is where you'll find the petrol cap. So I press the button inside to release that, and it's disgusting, very dirty, that needs cleaning. But that's your petrol cap side. If you come across the car to the other side, the driver's side, here is the release for the electrical charging. You pull this out and you'll put the charger in. I'll do some footage that will come later in the video of that being charged up. But yeah, so passenger side for the petrol, driver side to put the electric into the car. This is a look at the boot. It's not big, that's been well documented, enough to get you shopping in. You get a side compartment here. It's got a tyre inflator and locking wheel nuts. This side is another compartment. Had some paperwork in when we came with it. Here is where the charger is. So that is a charger. I could go to a charging port and plug straight into like a specialist station. We've also got what they call a granny charger, which is upstairs, which will feature in the video a bit later. So that sits in that compartment there. But yeah, that's your boot. This is something we learned the hard way. It actually causes confusion. You get a key with it. You don't need the key. To show you, this car is locked up. Put the key back in my pocket, don't need it. When I walk to the car, it opens. Completely recognises the fact that I've got the key in my pocket. Hence this is a keyless car, even though you got one. So, but however, to lock it, I would have to get it out and lock. You can see the windows going, which is perfect for obviously parking car parks. Come back, open. The reason this causes such confusion, because I'm so used to walking away from my car and checking that it's locked. You can imagine when you get out of the car, you get to your place that you want to go to, get out of the car, you press the door to check it's locked, and it opens because the key is in your pocket. I have been around when my wife has been here, and I've been able to walk far enough away for my wife to confirm that yes, it does lock. Before I start it up, I'm going to show you the pedals. Accelerator on the right, standard brake in the middle, that on the left is your handbrake. So there's no physical button or lever for a handbrake. That is your handbrake on the left. Right, so to start the car up and get in the car, key is still in my pocket. You put your foot on the standard brake and then you press power. This now boots the car up. You can of course shut the door, would be helpful. You can put the car then into reverse and away you would go. It only has 2 seats in the back, and it has a center console for your drinks, and there's also a pocket in there. If I can just try and do that. So yeah, there you go, got that in there. Nice little cubby hole for your drinks. Like I say, if it's just 2 seats, not 3 seats in the back. And you know, I'm 5'10" and I've got headroom. I know a lot of people saying that if you're 6 foot, it's a bit of an issue, but yeah, absolutely fine. I haven't anybody to sit in the back yet, but we've only got 2 kids, and if we want to take a third person, we can't. I could show you the instrument cluster in parked mode, so I can describe it quite easily without obviously driving. On the far left in the orange is that the airbag is on for the passenger side. Next to it is the green illumination, which is the lane departure alert. That makes sure that that's on. Then you got time, which is fairly obvious. Ready, which presumably means we're ready to drive, who knows. Then you can see the different modes that you're driving in. I am parked, as you can see, but it's in D for drive. The center, so 74%, that's how much is left in my battery. And then you've got the 3 different sections of a curved line. You'll notice when you're driving, and I'll try and do some footage if I can get somebody to hold the camera, most of the driving occurs in the middle of those 3 sections. Below where it says CHG, when you press the brake, that'll put the regenerative charging into the car. The score is, well, that's a pretty miserable score of 76. That's just to show how you're driving, basically. On the right hand side, you can see that the temperature outside is 17 degrees. I'm driving it in, or I would be driving it in electric vehicle mode. To the right is the petrol gauge, the gas gauge, if you live in America. I can confirm that I'm doing 0 miles an hour, and at the moment my average miles per gallon is 64.9. What you can also do is you can see the odometer on the right. On your steering wheel here is the trip button. If you press the trip button, this will change that option. Key going through, we've got lots of different ones you can choose from. I'm going to put it back to odometer. So yeah, that's the instrument cluster. That's how you can see everything whilst you're driving, or certainly how that we've got it set up. Whilst I'm here on this particular section, I will show you the modes on the car. So this button here is the one I'm going to be pressing. So if I press it right, it'll change this. So the first option I've got is a compass. Don't know why that's there for, apart from the obvious, but that's how that would work. But go over one more. That is your radio. That would presumably be working if the car was on. Next across is your fans. Next across is the screen for your lane departure alert system. Then that's if the car needs to give you any messages. Here is where you can do lots and different things with how to change parts of the car. There's a heads-up display working at the moment. You can change your time. This is the sway warning. So again, that works in conjunction with the lane departure alert. That here is 4. That one star here is on your mirrors. On the outside of the mirror, there's a little icon that goes orange if a car is up on your blind side. That's to do with the sonar system that keeps you away from cars in front, and will warn you if you need to brake heavily. That's whether you turn it on or off. There you got your lane departure alert one, and there's an drive assist mode with that. Vehicle settings, that's where you can do your charging settings. So if you want to do a charge schedule, that's where you can do that from that. I've had to come somewhere where it's a bit darker to do the screen because there's a lot of glare. It's very shiny, the outside of the center console. So yeah, it needed to come a little bit more darker to be able to show this. So a quick skip through of the stuff you can see. General tab, straightforward stuff. Volume settings. Do I want the fuel in miles per gallon or kilometers? Being in the UK, I'm going to keep it to miles. Other straightforward selections you can make. Display. This is for the settings of basically the actual console display. Straightforward stuff. Contrast, brightness. Can do the same for the camera to do with your reversing. Audio. That's for your bass, mid, treble, balance and fader. Move it around, do what you like with it. Connectivity, so Bluetooth, my phone is already connected. So there, I'm at the top, I'm connected at the moment via phone. So hopefully that'll come across. Bluetooth is quite simple to set up. Wi-Fi connection, that is set up to the one at my house, so when I was parked next to it, I've set it up. Don't quite know what I'm going to get from it at the moment, but again, a bit like the Bluetooth part of things, if you've ever connected like an iPad or anything to your Wi-Fi connection, that is what you need. You need your passcode to set it up. Maps, this is what you want to see on your map layouts. So I've got it to 3D heading at the moment. It's in day mode. Again, more options, speed limits on there. Then some tick boxes, you can choose to have stuff on or off. We've just left it with the default on, not changed anything there. Navigation, so route preferences, kept the things ticked that it was already ticked. Avoidance criteria is set up in an American way, because freeways in England it would be called a motorway. We've got it to avoid toll roads. There aren't a great deal of those in Britain or England. Obviously, if for some reason we were going anywhere near a toll road, it would alert us and tell us. Country information, to be fair, that again, self-explanatory stuff, not something we touched. Traffic, I understand the concept of it. It's been on other cars that I've had, don't like it. You can obviously traffic info to cut in via the internet or via the radio. We used to have it by the radio, just found it annoying. Toyota Online, been through that sort of stuff. Nothing really there for anybody to be that interested in. My apps, or I should say, it's got stuff on there. I haven't gone into those yet, don't know what they are. I have found an app for Toyota since, called MyT, that's spelled MY, the letter T. I'm hooked up to it, my car is registered on it. I need to go through it, but there'll be bits and pieces in there that will probably be worthwhile having. At the moment, I haven't really gone fully into it. All I know is that it asks for my sort of registration details, and when I open the app, it does show that my car is on there. Going on to the second page, your phone settings. So if we really wanted to, we could, for illustration purposes, let's change the ringtone. There you go. So go back into that. Again, just standard stuff. You can choose whatever you want from that option. The vehicle customization, door lock settings, climate settings, light settings. You'd want to go into those and pick whatever suits you. Get started, that's just a mere link to something to do with Toyota, which really isn't worth pressing. Right, on the left hand side below this, so if you go back to this one, that's the setup screen. This one below is a car icon. So this is the images that you can check to see how you're driving, is probably the best way of describing it. Here is an image of the battery, so you can see that I've still got battery in it. When this is driving, and I'll put some images in a bit later in the video, you'll see some arrows, so it will say how it's being distributed. So if I'm on electric, there'll be arrows going back showing that the power's going from the battery into moving the car effectively. It's just a nice little diagram. You can drive with it if you want on. Probably unnecessary, but still it will show you what it's doing. The middle one, haven't had an occasion to use that. The top one, there's no filled in part at the moment. Basically, it's lots of bar charts, and it will tell you how you've been sort of driving along, and it'll also put these E's on there. So when you've been doing the braking and do the regenerative braking, little E's will appear on the bar graph to show you that you've been putting power back out of there. There you go, trip information, past record, energy monitor. Stuff that you can mess around with. Over here on the right hand side is the button that you can press for your radio. This is the search and seek button. Move it around. I've turned the sound down, but trust me, it works. It's a DAB radio, which is really nice. This is a map. Don't expect anything great out of this whatsoever at all. It's not Google Maps. It's a very basic look to it. But it works, and we've used it to get from A to B. And in here you can do the settings, so you can set your home, your work, your favourite destination, last place you went to, reference. Again, a lot of people that will have navigation systems will be familiar with this stuff. Back to the map, you press that again. A few more functions on there. Got the speed limits available as was denoted in one of the options that I wanted earlier. I'll probably try and stick a bit of footage of us in driving a bit later just to show it in motion, but that's that option. And the last one is for your phone calls. Like I say, I'm set up for it. The good thing that's worth knowing here is if you want to make if you're hooked into it to make phone calls, you can enter the phone number. If you're one of those clever people that are able to remember phone numbers off the top of your head, type it in here and then you can call from here. So this is the center console, the main screen. Below is your fans, aircon, dual climate. That's maneuvering the air around. The more interesting ones apart from here, this is a rear windscreen heater. The front one is the middle part. So in the middle part, I'll get a bit closer to that one. Because it's dual climate, you can change the temperatures. So this is the driver's side, you can mess around with that, and that's the passenger side. Here you can see the arrows change, so that's the direction of it. Again, most cars exactly the same. And this is where I can turn it up physically, and you should hear the fan kicking a bit. So I'll turn that down now. So fan system, all very easy to use, and as you know, you can use it from the steering wheel as well. I've come to a place where there's more natural sunlight now to show this part of the car. It'll be far easier to show it in this light. It's a bit glary up there, so I had to film the center console on a different camera where it was a bit darker. So these are the buttons that drive your car. This is for the electric vehicle. Press that on and off, and you can see up here, you can see the EV come on and off over there. EV City is electric vehicle mode for the city. Unfortunately, it's not something we're going to use, but that is an option. Drive modes, again, if you press the button, it's going to change it from the electric vehicle mode into the standard petrol operated modes. So I'm going to press that button and show you on the screen. Press it once, I'm on power mode, which is for when you want to put your foot down a little bit more, get a bit more speed. Press it again, I'm in eco mode, which I believe is the use of petrol and electricity. When you've got electricity available, that is. And normal, I'm guessing, is just normal standard petrol mode. That's from pressing these buttons, and that's how it would appear on your screen. So I'm going to press it on electric vehicle mode for when I go back off. The middle is the gear stick, so you can see B, R, N, D. Reverse neutral drive, very obvious. B, I've seen it mentioned quite a few times. Somebody said, is that backwards? For which obviously there'd be no reverse. But anyway, B is for braking mode. The best way of describing that is low gear. So if you lived up the side of a mountain, if you were dwelling at the top of Mount Everest, if you wanted to come down a steep road, you'd put it in B, just to give you that extra bit of stability when you're coming down a sharp incline, just to brake basically. So B for brake. P for parking there. Coming further down, that is your wireless charger. I've got an iPhone 14 Pro Max, which I've charged on there successfully in the case. Not a problem at all. Then you've got two cup holders right there. And then you've got some more ports back here. So you've got a 12 volt, 120 watt one, and also a standard USB charger for your phone or anything like that. Then you come back to this part, which is the pocket or the middle section, and it's a nice deep pocket. We've got some wipes in there at the moment. So yeah, that's your center of your car. Nice deep pocket, cup holders, charger, and all your console stuff. Steering wheel has some options as well. A lot of these are linked, so I may have already gone through these, but you'll see them in a slightly different way. On the left side is the button where we do trip, and this is pressing trip. You're going to see it change over here on the bottom right where the odometer is. Lots of different information. That's what that does. I'm going to bring that back to odometer. Then you've got your phone buttons, speech recognition over here. Here is your volume up and down for the radio when you use it. Now if you press the mode button, it's going to change that in the middle to different settings. Again, just need to do whatever suits you best. We're going to put it back on radio there. This button here is the vehicle to vehicle distance control. So if I press it, bring it over here, you can see that there. So that's that option here. Long, medium and short. So when you press it, and again I'll do an illustration, press that again, press it, you can change those bars. So that's to do with obviously the sonar when you're going up to a car and if you want it to slow down. The distances are measured, so the 3s is approximately 50 meters, the medium is 40 meters, and the short, which is 1 bar, is 30 meters. You have to set the preferences which suit you best, but I would always have it on the third one, which gives me the most stopping distance, which is 50 meters or 3 bars. To the right hand side of the steering wheel by the door, got the power button to turn the car on. As we know, it's a keyless start, so that's what we press when we press down on the standard foot brake as well. Press the brake, press the power button on, and the car starts. Top button is the traction control. Then you can see HUD, heads up display, that's currently on. So that light is on. To the right is to help with the full beam. So you can press that button. When you're driving at night and you've got full beam on, if you press that, it will dip the lights for you. So everybody in the world seems to forget when they're driving straight onto somebody that they can turn the lights down. This does it for you, which is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. A bit lower around here, can't quite see it, that's the charging scheduler button, which we've seen on the instrument cluster, and then that is the petrol cap release button, whatever way you want to describe it. That's for doing that door open. On the door, you've got everything that you'd expect to see for a driver. So you control every window, central locking, and the button for the mirrors that you can turn left and right, up and down. To put it in reverse and show the screen, you would obviously move your lever across to reverse, and you will get the screen that anybody that's ever had a car with a reverse camera in will be familiar with. If you turn your steering wheel left to right, you can see that they change. The yellow box will move. Yeah, so that's what the camera that you get with this car for reversing. I find it hard to trust these things. I'm so used to using my own eyes, but yeah, anyone that's had one before will be very familiar with this screen. An additional thing worth mentioning, you can see the orange symbol there. That is saying that the passenger side airbag is on. When we got the car, the passenger side airbag was off, and we couldn't work out for a while how to put it back on. Did a bit of research, so hopefully so you don't have to. I mean, the passenger side, go around the side, and there is a slot for turning it on and off. You turn the airbag on and off with the key that comes with the car. So obviously you don't need to start the car with the key, it's a keyless start, but inside that key is a key that you can take out to turn that option on and off. Down here on the right is the cruise control option. Now it does say on and off on the side to make it really simple if you're looking from the side. When you want to use it, when you're going down the motorway, freeway, A roads, whatever, you press it on. That will turn it on. So you accelerate until you go to the speed that you want to go. At that point, you would press it down to set it. And then you would just take your foot off the pedal and cruise down the road until which time you want to cancel it. When you want to cancel it, you need to bring it towards you. The button actually has all these options written on it. Other ways of making it cancel is to press the brake or the accelerator, because that will override the system. Managed to find a quiet road to illustrate the heads up option. You can see on the screen here, so if I accelerate a little bit more, see that go up. But that's, if you press the HUD button and have that on, that is what you will see on your windscreen. It's quite handy. And yeah, we definitely would have it turned on for sure. This is some footage of the image to show that the battery is putting charge into my car to make it drive. As you can see, there's yellow arrows going from the battery at the front to signify that that's how my car is being powered at the moment. This is the map that you get in the Prius. It's not the most high-tech thing you ever see, but it does get you from A to B. This is it in motion. I thought that would be the best way to show it. yeah, it does its job, so that's all you really need it to do. With thanks to my lovely assistant for holding the camera whilst driving, I'm going to show you the instrument cluster. You can see the curved line is into 3, and the middle section is mostly where the driving gets done. That'll be the one that's most illuminated. You can see I've got 17% of my battery left, and I'm in electric vehicle mode. If I brake, watch the bottom of that curved line will start to fill up. That's putting regenerative electricity back into my car. And you can see an image of the battery, so you can see I'm quite low. As I say, I've got 17%. And you can see my drive score, which is about 87 out of 100, so I could do better there. On this side, you can see very handily that I'm in a 30 mile an hour zone doing 19 miles an hour. Electric vehicle mode is illuminated in green. The yellow is my gas tank, so that is that image. Then you've got the miles per hour, then you've got the miles per gallon, and then the odometer reading. So that is a quick look at my instrument cluster whilst the car is moving. This is in an electric mode. I don't know if it will translate to the video very well, but it's very quiet. You can obviously hear the tyres on the road, but generally speaking, it is very quiet. I don't know. Hopefully that'll come across. Because it's a hybrid, the range is about 30 miles, something like that, without any of the aircon or anything like that, which will deplete a little bit. So it's because it's not a full electric, don't expect to be going absolutely miles on it, but you know, short journeys, shopping, if you work locally, absolutely perfect. From flat to fully charged, it takes us 4 hours with our charger at home, so that's pretty good. But yeah, it's a 30-mile range. Don't be expecting too much more than that. This is the charger that was provided in the car. I couldn't tell you if this is standard, but I do know from looking underneath, it does make mention of Toyota on there, so quite possibly does come with this. But so in England, we've got a 3-point charger that will go into our socket. Our socket is upstairs. You put that in, and that end goes in the car, which I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to do it at night because I want to show you the blue lights that start illuminating on the front of the car to show that it's charging. We have to do it out of our top window at the moment because it's the easiest way to do it. We're going to put it through our garage eventually, so just need to get that sorted out. So this is how you would plug in the car. You undo this side, put that in the little holder, take your charger, put it in the socket, hear a little click, that shows it's charging, and also at the front, yep, get some blue lights to show that it's charging. That's on the front of the car. We did it at night so you could see those lights, but yeah, that's how you charge it. So that's a look at the Prius plug-in 2019 hybrid. Hope you enjoyed the video and I covered everything. You can use it for reference points about how to use this. If you like the content on this video, please give us a like, get it out there a bit more, subscribe to the channel. We put lots of different stuff out there. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this, and like and subscribe if you did.